Wes Wyatt. Let's take you to a live view from Lake Tuscaloosa right now, where we are dealing with a mostly clear sky. We've had some dry air move in. You know, at one point it looked like we were going to get close to 100 degrees yesterday and today. Well, yesterday that ridge was weak enough. We were able to get some storms to develop, and it really knocked down those temperatures. So the ridge is more displaced back to the west. That's the core of that hot weather bubble, and that's one of the reasons why those temperatures, thankfully for today, are closer to where they should be for this time of the year. We're at 92 here in Shelby County, so the temperatures average is right around 91, the average high for this time of the year. First Alert AccuTrack, we are all dry at the moment, not a drop of rain on radar. This is the feels-like temperature, and again close to 92 here in West Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Bessemer over towards Vestavia. You can see we go from 92 there, 87 degrees at this hour. Yeah, we'll take that. The last day of July. We got sunshine and 80s. Yeah, you can't beat that. Look at Aniana, 85 degrees here, right around Straight Mountain and over towards Chandler Mountain. Talk about some nice conditions. Anniston, Oxford. Yeah, we're going to be spoiled here going into the month of August with temperatures like that. But the hourly forecast, again, very pleasant for tonight. We're going to stay dry. No showers or storms expected for us. All the stormy weather, it's staying north of Alabama for now. But we're actually seeing some clouds off of those dissipating storms to the north. Hopefully, the sky will clear out because we got some cool stuff happening tonight. We're going to tell you about when you can see the space station. That's going to be coming up. Best yard work days. Got a check mark on tomorrow and Wednesday, especially if you start early. We'll have those pleasant conditions, but no rain showers and storms expected. Now, this is best yard work days. I'm just ranking them from more favorable days to least favorable. Not to say that Thursday you won't have an opportunity to get out and work in the yard. Just know Thursday, rain showers and storms will be more likely there, it looks like, during the afternoon. So we're going to be seeing those rain chances you can see going up later on this week. That means more afternoon storms, feeling more humid to close out the week. And that's one of the next big things that we're going to be talking about coming up in your First Alert weather forecast. Also coming up here on Weather Extra, we're going to show you more of this extreme heat that's been happening around not only here, but around the country. And we're going to take you out to New England. Yes, our New England tornado, some of the severe weather that's been happening across the Northeast. We've had a lot of I saw even today over D.C. we had some big storms there. You can see we're going to talk more about that, those severe storms across the mid-Atlantic region, the nation's capital. But it's been quite stormy for parts of the country, including our area yesterday. Had some of those storms. Stay with us. A lot coming up right here as we continue on Weather Extra.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day, Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama, always on your side.
The First Alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day, Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Well,
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Over the weekend, we managed to get some storms to cool us off. On Sunday, we check in now with meteorologist Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson for an update.
All right, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I don't know about you, Mickey, but got a good rain yesterday.
Yeah, I took a nap. We had the rain hitting the roof, and I was like, oh, let's take a nap. It's Sunday, day of rest anyway, so we went for it.
It was nice. Not everybody got rain, but if you did, you got a good bit. In fact, Birmingham, we were seeing a big deficit with our rainfall totals.
Played catch up. 5.5 inches, that's typically what we see in Birmingham. And we finished out July with 5.85 inches of rain. Tuscaloosa just got some gully washers all month long.
Yeah, almost 8 inches, getting close to almost double the amount that normally would see.
But the model city of Anniston hurting a little bit, about an inch down for there into Calhoun County.
Yeah, and there were some winners and losers when it comes to the rainfall totals. Here's a look at some of our Weather Watcher totals, and always want to give them a shout out. Of course, out of Graysville, Debbie Alexander picked up almost 7/10 of an inch of rainfall.
And the mustache man, John King in Alabaster, a little over a half an inch of rain, along with we had Lynn Hall in Jemison, a half an inch there as well.
And then Tyler Young, a little less than half of an inch of rainfall. And then as you can see in Coker, 3/10, not much in Oakman. Sarah Porter reporting just 5/100 of an inch. So if you want some rain, you're going to have to wait a few more days. I think we'll have better chances by the end of this week. But here's a look at the estimates from our radar. And notice parts of Marion County, Lamar, and Fayette, you didn't really see a lot. A lot of those storms formed in parts of Coleman and Blount counties and then sort of redeveloped it and pushed to the south. So areas like Gadsden, especially Jefferson County, picked up almost a half of an inch. Notice towards Alabaster, over an inch of rainfall. And then even farther to the south, notice Tuscaloosa, about a quarter of an inch. But look at Sumter County, Greensboro, Centerville, over an inch of rainfall.
I think it's kind of odd that several places saw 1.11 inches of rain. There's at least 3 places.
What are the odds of that?
That's pretty crazy. Look at that.
There you go.
1.11 for Alabaster, Centerville. And
once again, these are radar estimates, so these aren't official. But yeah, that's kind of strange.
It is.
Here we go with your monthly average rainfall. You know, we needed that rain because look what happens. August, September, October starts to trend a little bit drier. Makes sense, especially in September, October's fall, and that's when we usually see the least amount of rainfall.
And everything starts to go dormant. We don't need as much rainfall for everything. But look at this. Viewer submitted video from Rodney Lewis and McCalla. That was coming on down there, Matt.
Yeah. That's a lot of rain in a short period of time.
Probably 1.11 inches.
There you go. You're seeing it right before your eyes. We also had a little bit of hail. Look at this. Little pea-sized hail in parts of Pelham yesterday. Theodore Lowry submitted this video through the WBRC.
Hail, we did. So yeah, thanks for sending those in. Look at that ominous cloud there from Vicki Langley.
That's right. This is off Chandler Mountain, right around the St. Clair Etowah County line. It's a little ominous there. I love the greenery, though. The rain has really helped them out. And storms afterwards. You start seeing the clouds in the distance moving away. Jess B. sent this particular photo in. And then this morning, after the rain, we had the fog, Mickey.
Sure enough did. It lasted a dense fog advisory until 8 o'clock this morning, and then it kind of lifted and dissipated, and we've got that sunshine out there that we've been enjoying today.
That's right. So, of course, if you see any weather phenomenon, sunrises, sunsets, rain, hail, all the above, you can make sure to submit that through the WBRC First Alert Weather app.
Especially if you've had 1.11 inches of rainfall.
Wouldn't it be cool if a bunch of people with rain gauges just showed us rainfall totals of 1.11?
Yeah, no cheating. No cheating.
It'd be weird, but kind of cool.
And in D.C. right now, cleanup continues after severe weather this past weekend. Falling trees smashed cars and damaged buildings. More than 60,000 customers lost power. The National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning on this particular storm. Almost looks like a tropical system moving through there. This particular thunderstorm had wind gusts that reached up to 80 miles per hour. Well, a community in New England is cleaning up as well today after an EF1 tornado struck over the weekend. Here's how one resident described her experience during the twister.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Lynn Doty was watching out the window of her Easton home when the winds started picking up last night.
It lifted the branches as if it were an umbrella that was going inside out. And then all of a sudden, the branches were swirling at the top.
Over in Foxborough, splintered trunks and downed trees line streets where the National Weather Service confirms an EF1 tornado hit, producing peak wind of 105 miles per hour.
It was probably a noise you probably couldn't really explain it. You know, it came down hard.
A giant tree fell onto Mark Butler's house in Easton. His wife was sitting just feet away as it came crashing down.
My wife was actually on the porch filming the rain, and she turned her camera off. Within 15 seconds, that tree came down.
Power crews hoisted in the air, repairing downed lines and replacing damaged poles. Tree limbs and leaves litter Jack Clifton's yard. As he cleans up the mess, he knows things could have been worse.
Luckily, it all missed us, and we're just glad nobody got hurt, nothing got damaged over here.
And sweltering heat continues to intensify across the U.S. as millions of Americans brace for what scientists dub what could be the hottest month in history. Patrick Cornell brings us more as heat advisories and excessive heat warnings remain in effect for folks across the country.
Temperatures scorching above the triple digits across the United States as experts stamp July the hottest month on the planet in recorded history.
I just feel kind of, nauseated, and then I feel flushed. You can feel it. Your heart rate speeds up. Sometimes you have a little light headache and you just feel dehydrated and you got to have your water. So I have my water right here.
The historic heat wave intensifying in states like Arizona and others that have already experienced deadly impacts of extreme temperatures, prompting millions of Americans to heed excessive heat warnings from California to New York City.
You gotta be like a lizard on a day like that. You gotta stay in the shade, you gotta move slowly, keep the heart rate low. Otherwise, you're just gonna be sweating bullets.
The European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service notes that global temperatures are likely the highest in at least 100,000 years, with the possibility of long-term effects.
You should be drinking every hour or so, getting 8 to 16 ounces in if you're outside.
The heat wave also hindering the battle against wildfires, intensifying in states such as Nevada and California, where the York Fire has scorched 70,000 acres of the Mojave National Preserve. In this region, fire whirls or vortexes of flames and smoke are creating dangerous conditions for firefighters. I'm Patrick Cornell reporting.
Yeah, and talking more about that fire whirl, firefighters around the California and Nevada state line are facing extraordinarily dangerous conditions with this heat and fire situation in place. Crews there are battling the York Fire, which is currently at 70,000 acres. It's also, unfortunately, at 0% containment. Fire officials say winds have picked up, making the fire even more unpredictable and dangerous. Officials also say these types of fire whirls, which you can see there, are similar to dust devils, but are specifically associated with the heat and energy released by a wildfire. Well, more wildfires in California. One broke out in Riverside County in Southern California, just north of San Diego this past Thursday. As of today, over 2,000 acres have burned with only 10% containment. Firefighters tried to immediately contain the fire to protect nearby homes from damage, and unfortunately, one firefighter was injured. Fire officials expect the fire to be contained by next week. Well, record-breaking heat has city officials in Texas trying out an innovative technology that cools down pavement. Betty Cross reports from Austin.
When a road in Austin gets resurfaced, the new layer of asphalt is deep black. It's a durable material, but the dark color absorbs more sunlight and then radiates it back. This new asphalt being laid on Barton Springs Road today will typically be 10 to 20 degrees hotter than concrete and other light-colored paving materials.
This section of road has a little bit lighter color.
City engineer Angela Johnson says Austin is testing how much of a difference color and cool pavement technology can make on an Austin street.
That stretch of road was treated with a so-called pavement, cool pavement, which is water-based emulsion and with addition of titanium dioxide.
Menardis Drive in South Austin got sprayed with the light-colored seal that reflects sunlight last fall. Since then, the University of Texas has done a series of tests to find out how effectively it reduces temperatures.
On an average, it could be anywhere from 2 to 5 to 10 degrees, depending on the conditions.
UT professor Dev Niogi says it's enough of a difference to make a city more livable.
Instead of the heat getting absorbed, it is reflected back. And if it is reflected, then it is not absorbed. If it is not absorbed, our temperatures don't rise.
127.
Today, we asked the city engineer to check the temperature of the treated asphalt with the thermometer we provided.
In sunlight, is it 127?
Definitely hot, but asphalt routinely reaches temperatures around 140 degrees on a day like today.
And Austin right now is testing about 1 mile of pavement. The city says an additional 10 miles will be added to the pilot project later this summer. While many of us are working to stay cool while in the heat, we're on your side with how you need to look out for your car in this heat as well. Technicians say you need to make sure your vents are clean and your AC is charged. One technician also says you should start your car ahead of time so it can cool down slowly.
The best thing to do would be crack your windows, put your AC on fresh air, and turn your AC on. You can have it on the high volume, but just let it blow like that for about, 5 or 6 minutes, and then go ahead and close your windows. That'll blow the hot air out. Go ahead and close your windows, then turn it to recirculation and max air, and that should help cool the interior quicker.
Another thing you can do to keep your car cool, use sunshades as well. I know mine has come in handy this summer. Coming up next on First Alert Weather Extra, we check back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt to talk more about the potential of storms in the forecast later this week. And I'll take you beyond the 7-day. August is almost here. We'll be right back.
We heard the first alert. Mom says we have to go. She says I don't have time to grab any more toys.
Need to be in your tornado safe place. Get there right now as you have.
We have to get to our safe place because sometimes when you hear the siren, it's too late. That's why she says knowing first is everything.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team always on your side.
The first alert is more than a warning. It's a promise. A promise to get you out of harm's way with plenty of time to spare. 4 walls and a roof can be replaced. Lives can't. That's why knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Welcome into Weather Extra. A dry start to the week. We had those storms yesterday, and really what happens this time of the year, you'll see these temperatures here in Alabama. They'll start to go up, and the heat will build over consecutive days, and then we end up with storms, and we might not get the classic cold fronts that we often get in the fall and in the winter time. But once those storms develop, it brings these temperatures back to where they should be. And you can see right there close to 91, Tuscaloosa 94, and Anniston, Birmingham at 91, but much drier. We're in a break in the action, and tomorrow to start off the month of August, we're going to have seasonal temperatures, and it looks like another dry day that's going to set up here across the area. And you can see the atmosphere is really dried out. We don't see those puffy cumulus clouds like what we were seeing yesterday. And that's good news for fans of the night sky, because we have quite the viewing opportunity tonight. Not only the International Space Station, but we'll see the Starlink satellites, both viewing opportunities at the same time. 8:50, looking to the northwest, you'll see the International Space Station, and also be looking for Starlink. The viewing time's about a 5-minute viewing window. So a lot to look for this evening in the nighttime sky, but no rain. No worries about showers or storms. The data is keeping us very dry. There have been quite a few storms north of Alabama, and some leftover clouds off of that have been making their way across the state. You can see maybe tomorrow we could see some of those thin clouds making their way into the area. I still think some sun's going to make it through. It's more filtered sunshine for some of us for early on, and then looks like the temperatures will stay in the low 90s for afternoon highs by 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Still kind of dry. You can see we drop off quickly again by 6 p.m., seeing some mid-80s. So we'll enjoy tomorrow another very pleasant day for this time of the year, and it looks like the dry weather is going to hang on. But the next big thing, we will start to see the heat index really ramp up next few days by Thursday and Friday. And tomorrow, even though this shows a heat index of 95, this says 95, West Alabama, Tuscaloosa, we'll get close to 100. This is just an average that you're looking at here, but more widespread triple-digit heat impacts more likely Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But also for those days, we will see a much better chance for storms. We'll start to see some of these storms in this northerly flow aloft start to move in from the north, and looks like Thursday, probably by midday, we could see some storms, some lightning producers, some gusty winds. So a first alert Thursday. And if you miss out on the rain Thursday, looks like a pretty good chance again on Friday. We'll have a chance for some showers and storms. So be alert there, making those plans later on in the week. I think for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we get back into that typical summertime routine. Storms more likely in the afternoon hours for Saturday and Sunday. A 40% chance for rain and storms. Highs in the 90s. Overnight lows you can see there in the mid-70s. But the 7-day forecast certainly shows higher rain chances for the weekend and into the start of next week. But it is kind of interesting here, you know, when you go into the month of August and you start to go into that second half of summer. Now, we are getting closer to the peak of hurricane season. We may see a system develop out over the Atlantic, but no impacts across the Gulf region. But here across the deep south, it starts to trend drier. Almost a little hint of fall in the air. I didn't want to say it, Lauren, but you could tell it's a little bit drier, not as muggy out there tonight, but you can certainly tell August is almost here.
Yes, Wes, and we can definitely see look beyond the 7-day here. Check it out. A good portion of the southern, western, even up towards the mid-Atlantic of the U.S. looking at the potential for above average temperatures. So what could that mean for us here in central Alabama? Well, highs possibly well into the 90s. As we saw over the weekend, though, if you have a situation where some storms come through, that can help to cool you off. But showing the heat isn't over with anytime soon as we get into August. And looks like those morning lows are still going to be running warm as well beyond the 7-day. Now, as far as that precipitation outlook, you know, we're pretty dry today. Don't look like we're going to be seeing too much in the way of storms on Tuesday and Wednesday, but our next big thing is switching back to a more unsettled weather pattern later this week, and that does look like it could continue as we get into next week beyond the 7-day as well. So 6 to 10 days from now, above average precipitation chances. Let's look at the futurecast here. Here we are next Tuesday, August 8th, showing the potential for some scattered showers and storms, and that potentially continuing into the middle of next week. Notice you've got this southwest flow in the atmosphere that can help to pull a lot of moisture in and can bring about a stormier, wetter pattern. So that could lead to potentially some wetter weather beyond the 7-day. We'll certainly have to keep an eye on that. If we do have a situation where you've got some wet weather around during the heat of the day, like I said, that could help to knock down temperatures, but possibly going into the second weekend of August, still seeing some storms around. And generally, though, I will say one thing we're not seeing here around the Gulf Coast is the potential for tropical development. So we'll take that for as long as it lasts. But remember, the peak of hurricane season is in September, so we're kind of getting into that time of the year where we could be seeing more activity. But of course, we'll be keeping you updated here on First Alert Weather Extra. You can join us here every weeknight at 6:30 on your favorite streaming platform. And make sure you check back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt tonight on First at 9 for an update on your forecast. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Monday evening.